Hello, my name is Abigail Keeney, and today I will be demonstrating how to apply wraps and bandages here at William Woods University. Those include polos, stack wraps, standing wraps, wound bandages, and hoof wraps. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using Mr. B. The first thing we will be going over today is the polo wrap. I always like to start my wraps on the inside of their leg on their cannon bone. I wrap from inside to outside, from front to back. And whenever you're wrapping, you want to try to keep even pressure, and these layers that you're making as you're coming down, you want to try to keep them the same size. In saddle seat, this is where we stop our polo, about at the top of the pastern, or about where the ergot is. In other barns, you cup the fetlock, but we will not because this is a saddle horse. And we come back up and we once again try to keep even pressure and also try to keep even spacing. When you finish your wrap, you would prefer to have your Velcro on the outside. This is not preferable, but it will work if you're just doing a 30-minute class session. We can even, to check pressure, stick our fingers in there. We should be able to pretty easily put 2 fingers in there. And that's how to do it. The next thing we'll be going over is how to do a hoof wrap. So to start off, we're going to get a duct tape square prepared for the hoof wrap. And I prefer to make these on my legs so that they're with me, they're close by. And these horses have really large feet, so I'm gonna have to make a really big square. And depending on the size of the foot will determine how many layers of tape you'll need. He has a large show shoe on, so I'm going with 6. Other horses who have either thrown a shoe or just have smaller shoes may not need as many layers of tape. And then I will take the duct tape and make a few extra strips because at the end of the hoof wrap, I will want them to help me finish securing the hoof wrap.
Go.
now that we have our duct tape square, we need to pick up our foot and clean it out with a hoof pick. And then once it's cleaned out, if your vet has recommended to apply any ointments or salves, this is a time to do so. Salves can include ecthamol to draw abscesses, or if they needed to be soaked, that is something that you need to do beforehand. And then if you do put an ointment or a salve on it, then you apply a Teleflop pad by taking out the package and simply placing it over the center of their foot. And now we will be applying the next step of the wrap, which is the diaper. Which I'm going to put this in between my legs for ease. And we take the diaper and we take the far end of it and we put their toe in it. And then we take the little Velcro pieces and we put it around, Velcro it secure. Try to wrap it up really around their foot. He has a large show shoe, so it makes it a little bit more difficult to get where it needs to go. But there we have it. And the next thing we do is take a roll of vet wrap and starting typically around the toe, we begin to wrap. And also, while you're doing this, wrap around the bolts of the heel, because that's really what will keep this wrap in place. And just try to cover as much of the foot as you can. And when you feel that you have enough coverage over your foot, have a pair of scissors with you. Take the scissors and cut your vet wrap and put it into place. Okay, now we take our duct tape square and we place it on our foot and we push down the sides. And then here is where I like to make sure to set down their foot and make sure they set it on the bottom. So I can push up the edges as needed, and then like see there's excess here that would touch their skin. You wouldn't want that, so I like to keep my scissors handy still and cut away some of the extra. I'll just go around the whole edge and make sure nothing's touching his skin. That's the important part, because diaper can touch skin, vet wrap cannot, and duct tape most certainly cannot touch his skin, because the adhesives in the duct tape and even the vet wrap can irritate their skin, and that's not good for them. So now we take our extra strips of duct tape and we just wrap it around the areas that are lacking duct tape that just look like they could use some help staying together. You just want to make sure that nothing's getting squeezed too tight, and double check that nothing adhesive is touching the skin. Once you've done that, your horse should be good for the night. The reasons why we apply a hoof wrap is because the horses pulled a shoe, or they have an abscess, or there has been an injury such as a puncture to the foot. The next thing we'll be going over is a wound bandage. The materials needed for it will be any ointments recommended by your vet, but for demonstration purposes, we will be using Vaseline. Then we'll need a non-adhesive 4x4 telfa pad. Next will come the clean gauze, which comes in brown or white. The difference is that the white is more stretchy than the brown. And as per my preference, we will be using the brown clean gauze. Once my wound is cleaned, I will apply ointments if recommended by the vet. Then I will apply a non-adhesive 4x4 telfa pad. Over that, we will put our brown clean gauze. We'll wrap completely over it, go a little bit above it, and then a little bit below it, and have a pair of scissors ready to cut it off where we want it. The reason we apply a wound bandage is to prevent further injury and to protect the wound from outside debris that could cause infection. Next, I will be applying a standing wrap. The materials you will need for a standing wrap are a pillow, a track wrap, and masking tape. We will be applying a standing bandage over this wound bandage to reduce the swelling and inflammation and to prevent the horse, from removing the wound bandage. The other reasons why we apply a standing bandage is to help with soft tissue injuries and to help reduce swelling and inflammation in the leg. So now I will take the pillow and I will place it on the inside of their leg, going from inside to outside, front to back, and trying to keep even pressure as I wrap around. And then I prefer to take my track wrap before I'm finished wrapping my pillow and tuck it underneath of the pillow. The last wrap, the last roll, revolution. And you want to have this part of the pillow as even as possible, up and down. Then same rules apply to the track bandage. You want to try to keep even pressure, make sure there aren't any wrinkles, and continuously roll down the leg. So when doing extended wrap, it is preferable to leave a 1/2 inch of pillow above and below the track wrap, and to do what is called the flick test, which you flick it about 4 or 5 times going down the leg, and if it sounds the same, that means that the pressure was even, which is good. And you also want to be able to fit 2 fingers above and below the wrap, above and below the wrap, and if you can do that, then that means that is the correct fit. If you feel that your Velcro might come undone before you are ready to wrap the leg again, you can take masking tape, and I like to start it from just like my wraps, inside to outside, front to back, and you wrap it around your Velcro and end on the outside, tear it off, fold a little tab so it's easier to unwrap in the morning, and there you go. For our final wrap, I will be demonstrating how to apply a stack wrap. The materials you'll need for this are 2 pillows, 3 track wraps, elasticon, masking tape, and a pair of scissors. When applying a stack wrap, you first apply a standing wrap but lower than you would typically, so that you can use the top of the hoof as a shelf to hold up the stack wrap. After you have applied a standing wrap, then you have 2 options. You can either take the pillow of your stack wrap and overlap it on the top of the standing wrap, or you can stack it on top of the standing wrap. And you wrap a stack wrap the same way as you wrap a standing wrap, inside to outside and front to back. Then apply your track wrap same way, inside to outside, front to back. After that, you'll need to take your 3rd track wrap and you will need to apply it inside, outside, front to back. What you're going to do is you're going to cover the top of the Velcro on your standing wrap, and then the top of your Velcro on your 2nd wrap, and the top your stack wrap. And then you will take masking tape and wrap it around your Velcro at the top the same way you would for your standing wrap. And then you have the option of using elasticon on the top and the bottom of the wrap to help keep debris out. What you do is you unroll the elasticon mostly, and you put half of it on the wrap and half of it on the horse, and you wrap it around, and then you cut it off. And you do that on top and the bottom. why we would apply a stack wrap is to cover a wound wrap above the hock. Why we put a standing wrap on underneath instead of just wrapping the top is to pull it up. And the wrap overall helps keep inflammation and swelling down in the leg. In conclusion, the following wraps that were demonstrated were polo wraps, hoof wraps, wound bandages, standing wraps, and stack wraps. Thank you for watching.